internet, and today's video is going to be another book haul, and this is number 4 in the 5-part series for the month of April. This book haul will focus on books that fit into the mystery genre. If they do not directly fit into that genre, I have forced them to fit because this is how I plan to organize these things, and organization is key to a happy and successful life. The first book on this list is an adult mystery, and that is The Poor Boy's Game by Dennis Tafoya. This follows a woman named Franny. She is a U.S. Marshal, but she has been kicked out because she got one of her friends shot. Something really terrible happens. Her father is a thug and a criminal who has been thrown in prison and has been there for quite a while. However, he has escaped. Now, he had deep roots into the underworld, and now the underworld's not too happy that he's free. Of course, the first suspect for his freedom and his escape artistry is Franny, and now she has to run for her life from all these underground criminals who are really mad at her for letting her father free, and also take care of her other family and ensure they don't get killed, and then also find out what's going on with her father. I like how the cover artist decided to have one of the O's be the gun that she's holding. I think that's both very intimidating and very artistic. I don't know. I thought it was clever. The next book on my list is a middle school mystery, and that is Chasing Vermeers by Blue Balletti. And this is about two people who get roped into solving all these clues and solving this crime that the FBI can't figure out. And that's because an art scandal has been committed and Vermeer paintings have been stolen. So by following these clues, these two people, as depicted on this cover, are going to try to figure out where the Vermeers went, why they were stolen, and probably outsmart the FBI, who cannot solve the issue. So of course, like all middle school grade books, or at least the majority of the ones I happen to pick up, there is a picture inside. There are many pictures inside. This is one complaint I have. Not that there's pictures, but that I can only find pictures in books when I go to the middle school section. Why don't they put pictures in adult books or young adult books? Why can't I have pictures in those books too? I understand some of the scenes may be a little raunchy and you don't want to draw porn, but I'm sure there are plenty of books out there that you can still put a picture in so that I can look at without it being something risque on the page. Also, another great thing about this book, something I just learned today, is that I hadn't seen this book naked, and if you do take off the cover, you find the paintings. So I'm assuming that this painting here and then the one depicted on the back are the actual paintings that they're talking about throughout the whole book and in the art scandal and the ones that have been stolen. I think it's nice to have visual aids. I always struggle when they have old references and historical references of what things look like. I constantly have to go and look for them so I know what they're talking about. So I like how they took the time to just add it to the cover of the book so that when they're talking about this painting of this girl being stolen, you're like, oh, the painting on the cover of the book, you know, because that's helpful. All right, that is just plain helpful. The next book on my list is again another middle school grade mystery, and that is by Shayla Turnage, 3 Times Lucky. This follows a girl named Mo. She is a very smart 6th grader, and she hangs out with her best friend. She was just living her life, getting into trouble, and just raising Cain in town, you know, the way that young girls do. And one of the people in her town gets murdered, or at least found dead. So now she has taken it upon herself and has dragged her friend along to figure out what this mystery is. Only frustrating part about this is that I actually bought the next book in the series, which is The Odds of Getting Even, and it says it's a Mo and Dale mystery. So I was like, oh, I'll just pick this one up because it's going to be the companion, right? It's going to be the companion, right? No, this is the 3rd book. This is what makes me so angry. Why not on books? Don't you just state whether or not it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 50 on the cover? I am tired of trying to guess what order they went in. I thought I had just bought the first book and maybe a companion. Turns out this is an actual series that goes in a specific order that you have to read in. Especially when I read the synopsis and I found out that a lot of things happen in the synopsis are probably what the events of book 2. And this builds off of book 2. Why don't you just put on the freaking cover that this is book 3? Why don't you do that? Why don't you put on these covers book 1, book 2, book 3? It's frustrating. I'm tired of this. I would have bought the freaking thing anyway. And I'm so mad because, like, right here on the back, so it has the first book, and I'm assuming this one's the second book. I only found out there was a second book because I was trolling on Goodreads trying to find out what books were out and what other things I could add to my list. Like, even this isn't good enough. Like, they don't tell you the order. What if I had just picked up this book and I was like, oh, that's cool, and I looked at the back. I don't know which one of these is book 1 and book 2. I could just be guessing. Why don't you... I'm gonna stop there. I just think it's stupid, and you people who print off books and put them on shelves, you need to have on here someplace, whether or not it's book 1, book 2, book 3, book 54, just tell me the order so I can get them in the right order so that I can start the series and not be like, oh man, I have the first one and the third one, but I don't have the second one, so I can't read the freaking series. It's stupid. Next book on our list is yet again another middle school grade book, and that is Boundless by Kenneth Opel. This book is about a young boy named Will, and this whole thing takes place on a train. And young Will sees someone murdered, or somebody just happens to be murdered on this train, and Will gets their hands on the key that this murdered guy had, I assume. I assume the murder guy had the key, otherwise why was Will being chased? Anyway, point is, there's this key that like unlocks the door to all these treasures on the train. The villains want the key. Will got his hands on the key, and now he's on a run for his life because, you know, villains gonna kill those who stand in their way, because that's what you do when you're a villain. That's just what you do. The last book on this list is the one I was most excited about, and that is The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, illustrated by Sophie Martinek. And I was so excited because I have not actually read Sherlock Holmes. I watched all of the shows and all of the movies. I've seen every rendition of Sherlock on screen, but I've never actually read the book. And I saw this edition, which is one of the illustrated editions, and I was like, I need that. Finally, a book where they understand that just because I'm past the age of 18 doesn't mean I appreciate pictures in my books any less. I still need them. So this, of course, was beautifully done. I like the art in it because of how childish it can be. I don't know. I think you would just have to see it. So, like, that's the cover. And then if you see, like, the end page in there. So this kind of reminds me of, like, those really talented kids when they draw and stuff. It's, like, the dimensions on the pictures and stuff and the way that it's colored in. If you can see it on that page here. I don't know if I'm just showing you this and you can't really tell, but the shading and the dimensions and just the way that it's just like in every odd direction when it's colored in reminds me of like coloring as a kid, or when you see kids color where they never go in the same direction. They're just like, ah! Like, that's what these pictures remind me of. So really excited. I like the print in it too, because I like how we have like smaller ones in there, but it's a larger print. It's glossy paper. It's just a lot of fun. It looks really pretty. I mean, it is kind of heavy, and I probably could kill a person with it, and then Sherlock would be after me trying to figure out who killed the person and with what weapon. But I think this will be a grand old time, and it will be a great way to introduce me into the written work of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and not just the TV renditions of his great character. And those were all the books in this portion of the book haul. We just have one more to go. I know, so exciting. If you like any of the books here, if you agree with any of the frustrations that I have with them not numbering freaking books in the orders they go in, comment down below, let me know. If you like what you're seeing here and you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring the little bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. That is all for this, so goodbye, internet. And don't kill a man unless you know how to hide a body.